Sorry, guys. South Africa destroy, demolish, completely dominate. I don't know what word you want to use. England in this first ODI. And I think this was a magnificent performance by South Africa. I was a bit too excited. That's why the sound, guys, it was muted. I didn't even know I pressed the mute button. But I was very happy about this victory. It was a dominant performance with the ball. And I think South Africa must be very chuffed with their start to this particular match. I'm going to talk about everything in this game. I'm going to sum up everything that took place. I'm going to talk about some injury updates as well for you guys. And I think this is a very important victory for South Africa. And I think it's going to give us a lot of belief, and it's going to give us a lot of how can I say, confidence going into the rest of the series. So let's get into it. I don't want to waste too many people's time. I already wasted your 1.5 minutes with the sound being off at the beginning of the video. So let's continue the show, and let's go straight into this particular match. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. And this is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid. And today we are going to be talking about the first ODI between South Africa and England. How sweet is it to get a victory over England? In the first ODI, there was a lot of hype around England and this aggressive approach that they want to play. And the interviews before the game was all about this new fast bowler that they have in the team, Sonny Baker, and 90 miles per hour they were talking about. And South Africa just came out here and said, not on our watch. Complete domination. They destroyed England, demolished England. Whatever you want to use, the word you want to use it in the comment section below. If you're in South Africa, you would use probably a little bit more of a more vulgar word to describe this one, but they bliksem them in this particular match. So it was a magnificent victory from a South African standpoint. It's a very good confidence booster because a lot of people were kind of worried about whether South Africa can maintain this type of consistency. But we know the series is the most important part. We're going to have to carry this victory into the next match. And that's going to be the key. Can South Africa win the series 2-0 unassailably and then take some chances in the last match? There are some negatives that we want to talk about in this game as well. So I'm going to get into that too. But let's just give a quick summary of what took place in the match for the people that didn't get to watch the game. So first and foremost, South Africa won the toss and they opted to bowl first. Now there was a little bit of teasing from Headingley, and England was teasing a little bit of rainfall that was going to maybe hit us later on in the game. It didn't really matter because England didn't even make it until the floodlights were barely on. The game ended. We could have finished this off before the floodlights even went on, and it would have been even more embarrassing. And I don't want to get a little bit too cocky and run away with it here, but let me enjoy my moments because we don't really get to talk about South Africa in this manner. But I have to give credit to someone that I was very impressed with in this match, and that's Jamie Smith. I think Jamie Smith batted really beautifully. This wicket was a very good wicket to bat on. So that's what's puzzling with this experienced lineup that they do have with Ben Ducker, Joe Root, Harry Brook, Josh Butler. I would even throw Will Jackson into the mix over there because he has some experience batting as well. I was quite surprised that they lost their wickets though in the manner that they did. And the fact that that Maharaj was their leading wicket taker in this particular game as well, it looked like quite a good batting surface. But South Africa, they still first gave out a few feelers between Lungingidi and Nandre Berger. They were first assessing the conditions a little bit. They were bowling like 130, low 130s at first. in the first 2 overs, got hit for a few boundaries up front, and then they started to crank it up in the next overs. And boy, did they crank it up, because I mean they were fantastic. Berger was fantastic, Nikinov, Ben Duckett. And then England started to come a little bit into the match a little bit. I thought that maybe Joe Root, when the way he started with those drives, almost similarly to Markram, it looked like Joe Root was in the mood, because Jamie Smith was just ticking away, ticking away, ticking away. But then Ngidi took the wicket of Joe Root. And I think that Nandre Berger and Lungi Ngidi are starting to look like a very good partnership. Like they're starting to complement each other. The way they cramp batters for space in the crease is brilliant. There was a little bit of swing on offer, but not enough, I think, to really trouble batters. But wickets just continue to tumble. I mean, Ben Duckett 13 for 1, 2.2 overs. Joe Root 44 for 2 in 7.3 overs. The next wicket to fall was Harry Brook, which was I think that was really a turning point in the match, because Harry Brook was looking like he wanted to really punish South Africa. And that was a crazy run out. Stubbs getting the run out. Good fielding from Stubbsy. And then the game kind of collapsed for them from there on out. I mean, South Africa were all over them. Even though they got to the 100-run mark, that wicket of Jamie Smith was the turning point. And it was Vian Mulder that got the wicket. And then Mulder started to destroy everybody. Josh Butler lost his wicket to Mulder. And then Jofra Archer lost his wicket for a duck to Mulder. 2 wickets in 1 over. Almost got a hat-trick over there, you would say. But Keshav Maharaj, number 1 bowler in the world, dominating. Completely destroyed everybody. Jacob Bethel out for 1. Well, Jack scored in bowled for 7. Adil Rashid, LBW for 9. And then Sonny Baker on his debut. Terrible debut for him. A duck in front of his parents as well. I felt really sorry for him. But a duck there, bowled, clean bowled. And they were out for 131. Now, some records. This was the second lowest total by England on home soil against South Africa. The lowest total was 103 in the 1999 World Cup against South Africa in England. And I think that was at the Oval. But this was the lowest total in like 50 years, I think, something like that. But it was the lowest total by England in Headingley, Leeds, on a ground that they have a lot of success in the past. So this is actually quite an embarrassing defeat for England, actually, if you take it into consideration. Some people might say there was already excuses made by the commentators about this England team. They've at the front in the pre-match press conference, or not press conference, in the pre-match, yeah, you could say Josh Butler was talking quite big before the match, but in the pre-match conversations ahead of the game, we were hearing loads of things about how talented these batters are, and they were bigging up Jacob Bethel, and they were bigging up Sonny Baker, and they were bigging up Jamie Smith. Okay, Jamie Smith batted well. They were talking so big about like Josh Butler and Joe Root and all the players. They were speaking very confidently about their batting lineup, for the batting lineup to put in a performance like this. If it was my team, if it was the Proteas, I would be speaking. I would have been irritated and been slating them. Really, we would have been going into them. You guys know this. We would probably been talking a lot of smack about the batters and stuff like that. So I think they deserve their criticism because they didn't put in a performance today. But props goes to Vian Mulder, 3 for 33, economy of 4.71 in 7 overs, and Maharaj, 4 for 22, economy of 4 in 5.3 overs. Then came the batting, and I have a big smile on my face because I absolutely loved Aiden Markram's approach. Guys, I've been saying it over and over and again. He needs to get used to batting as an opener again in white ball cricket. He's been a 4 for so long, a 3 for so long. We need to give him time as an opener, and we need to give time to Ryan Rickelton as his opening partner as well, because he's looking rusty at the moment, and you can see he's struggling to time the ball and struggling for runs. We need to stick it out, because I think that this is the right partnership for South Africa down the line, but we need to be patient with both of them. Give them time, guys. Support them when they're down. We must always support our players when they are down. Don't crush them even further when they are down. They know that they need to improve. They know that they need to be better. And by Coach Shukri supporting Aiden Markram, believing in him through all the criticism, because people wanted him dropped, he goes and scores the fastest half century by an South African opener in history. He scored 50 of 23 balls, and he turned that into 86 of 55 balls, 13 fours, 2 sixes, 156.36. And he could have been selfish, and he could have seen out the game and hit a couple of singles, but he tried to go for a big shot and lost his wicket in the end. I wish that he was selfish, that he could have a not out and it would push him. I saw a stat that as a when he's not a captain, he averages 41, I think it is. I mean, I must give a shout out to Yashar from our group. Markram averages 41 in ODIs and 38 in T20s when he is not captain. So that is something that's interesting to know. And Aiden Markram was brilliant today. He won this game. At the end of the day, he chased the majority of the runs down. Ryan Rickleton looked very shocking. He got lucky also with a catch that dropped just short of Joe Root in the slips. He got 31 of 59, a strike rate of 52. It's not very good from Ryan Rickleton, 4 4s. And then it was a little bit of a frenzy at the end. Temba tried to go big. I understand they tried to win the game in style. And Temba went for a big shot, got caught on 6. Tristan Stubbs went for a reverse sweep. He got for a duck. Deva Brevis, 1 ball, sees it off. Second ball, bam, 6 down the ground. Beautiful way to end the innings. End with 137 for 3, 20.5 overs, 7 wicket win. Should have been a 10 wicket win. But great performance by South Africa. What a way to start the series. I'm extremely happy with the performance. So let's get into the comment section because it's time for me to read out your comments. So I mean, there's not much for us to really say about this match, but other than well done, South Africa, brilliant performance, brilliant victory. Okay. Sarah says, Khalid, bro, I mentioned this yesterday as well, and you went under an assumption that we all speak negative. Nothing negative about this team. We are in a good shape. My only concern is Sarah, that negativity wasn't aimed at you. There were 2 racists in the comments yesterday that were completely irritating me. We've had this conversation. I don't want to hear that word quota. It's banned on this channel. I don't want to hear players be referred to as quota players ever again on this channel. And you will get banned if you use it because it has a racial connotation to it. Because I don't believe that any player in this team doesn't deserve to be there. They put in the hard yards domestic cricket. They performed as best as they could when they had the opportunity. So yeah. So anyway, it wasn't aimed at you, bro. Not at all. Wasn't aimed at you. Okay, so let me just move on from that comment. He's completely out of sorts. He needs to get back into form. But that's why no, he doesn't need to go to domestic cricket because that doesn't really help him. He goes back into domestic cricket. He scores like 1,000,000 runs, and then he comes back to international cricket and struggles again. He just needs more game time. He needs to play more. It's as simple as that. We don't need to now like let him go back to domestic cricket and all that bull crap. Let him just play. Support him and let him play. He will come right. No need to be concerned about rain. England did the job for South Africa. Yeah, and crazy. Sarat, look at Brevis, man. Look at his confidence. He should be batting way up the order, getting wasted at 6. South Africa, his time will come to bat high up the order. South Africa team for ODI World Cup 2027. I don't want to hear that right now, bro. Let me just go down to the bottom over here to some of your other, some of the newer comments after the sound wasn't working. Pratik saying, what a thumping win by South Africa. Sarfa says, yeah, I was concerned about the rain and England decided to finish it up quickly for South Africa. Pratik says, when you keep winning like the way they did today, nothing like it. Typical English media over talking while not accepting the flaws in their team. Their team is in development. And we need to be patient with England as well. And I hope that their media is. I mean, when our team was in development, we also tried to give them some time. I told you guys that we need to support the players, be positive, all of those type of things. We mustn't get so crazy when players go off uh, um, off form, out of form. Remember, guys, in cricket, you fail more than you succeed. So when players go off form, they're going to be out of form more than they're going to be in form. That's just the nature of cricket. So when our players are struggling, support them, give them, help them get their confidence back, rather than trying to pull them down and break them down. Theo Jonker says Stubbs needs a good score against decent opponents sooner than later just to regain confidence. Sarfaz says Ryan and Stubbs are on the knife edge. Meanwhile, the likes of Luan and Herman brothers are knocking on the door of the ODI team. They're knocking on the door, but the ODI cricket is a different ball game. We've seen so many players dominate SAA, dominate domestic cricket, come to international cricket and fail. I don't think Ryan Rickleton, I don't think there's alarm bells over Ryan Rickleton quite yet. I think we need to be patient. You can tell that he is just struggling with his timing at the moment. That's it. Underrated song says, I'm not happy with Stubbs. I don't want to see him in T20s. Donovan must come in straight for him. I don't agree with that. I think Stubbs has been pretty decent. He was pretty decent in Australia in the T20s. NY Times Square says India and South Africa are in only team that can go toe to toe with each other. Underrated song says there are other players waiting for their turn. Stubbs hasn't done anything special since his debut. In the position that he bats, it's difficult to do something special every single time. And he performed pretty well in Australia. Wilbur Stanley Pina says, really happy with today's win. Wanted a 10-wicket win, but this is a great start to the series. I also wanted a 10-wicket win. That's unfortunate. I had the graphics and everything that for my TikTok and all of that. Even my report, that had 10-wicket win in the bloody report, and I had to change it 3 times. 9, 8, 7. Crazy. I hope I got it right. Let me just double check that, because I was frantic because I wanted this game to finish at 6 o'clock. That's what I thought was going to happen. And in the end, it went longer than I thought. It was unnecessary to go on for so long, to be honest. You could have given me a nice earlier night, because I know one of the other games are going to go right until the death, till 10 o'clock. So I'm happy that I got to be with you guys nice and early for this match, for at least one of the ODIs. And now we'll actually for 2 of the ODIs, because the other one is so late. I'm not going to have all of you guys available at night to sit with me on the live stream. Dennis Pilgrim says Stubbs is still trying to find his way. There was no need for that shot. Yeah, they all tried to be fancy to win the game. Sarah says no need to be patient with Markram. He's class, but Rickleton not at all. Shukri needs to wake up and see this. Rickleton needs to be dropped. We'll see. I mean, Rickleton batted himself into this team. I don't think he was necessarily in Coach Shukri's mind at the beginning, right at the beginning of his just before he took over. I don't think we had a conversation, remember, on my channel. It's an exclusive, and he gave us an insight into some of the players and stuff like that he thought about. And I think Rickleton just batted his way into this team, and I like that Coach Shukri, he rewards good performances. Lisa says, so happy for Markram, captain, my captain. Was a captain today though, but thank you for that comment. Aiden, well done, says Dennis. Pratik says, all of a sudden the bench strength for SA is looking massive. Coach Shukri identifies players so well and knows how to get the best out of them. Dennis says, Maharaj, great work with the ball. World class, that guy. Wilbur says, ugly innings from Ryan, but needed this innings. I believe his form is coming back. It will come back. I really believe it will. Roderick says, Rickleton is flat track bully and he can't play spin after power play. He was dismissed by spin in the most matches in the IPL. Dennis Pilgrim says, Mulder, I was well pleased with your bowling performance. Underrated song says, Tony is injured. Yes, he has a hamstring injury. Picked up a hamstring injury, so he's out. So if Brzezinski still needs now some time, if he's still struggling with injury as well, then Luandre comes in. Lawrence says, Keshav is aging like fine wine, guys. World class, number 1 ODI bowler in the world for a reason. Top performer, brilliant. I've always been a fan of Keshav Maharaj. Not only as a cricketer, as a human being. One of the nicest cricketers I've ever met in my life. Really, Keshav is a brilliant person and a brilliant cricketer. He's just an all-round role model for future South African cricketers. Really is. Wilbur says, I was laughing at England. Truly believe they are the best in the world, but they might have to play World Cup qualifiers being ranked 8th. Dennis says, Ngidi and Berger, great job. Congratulations to the Proteas. Theo Jonker says, Rickleton really needs to work on his offside game. He really struggled to score offside in today's game and the Aussie Steelers. He's just been struggling all around with his form recently. Dennis says, Bavuma, there was no need for that shot. Congratulations on your skipper win. Lawrence says the positives about having Markram at the top of the order is how he has the ability to blitz attacks in the power play, and he showed that today. This Markram and Rick's partnership will bang people, needs to be patient. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Pratik says a lot of people want Rickleton and Stubbs to be dropped. Agreed. Not everyone in the batting lineup will be in form. It's too small a sample size. We need exactly. We need to give them time. They will come through. You can't expect players to perform so quickly into their ODI careers. We've spoken about the levels of the step up from domestic cricket. Our players are going to need a little bit more time to get used to international cricket than other players. It's just naturally going to be the case. In my time case, all can knock or break down door, but Ryan and Stubbs should play for the whole year, even if they fail. Sarah says the vibe in the team brings to the table is very positive, and this looks good. Proteas after WTC final is on the rise. And remember, don't read too much into that SAA games as well. But Benoni is a very flat wicket as well. So I'm not denying that Jordan Herman and Ruben Herman aren't brilliant players and fantastic players. They are. And they will get their time, I feel. But we just need to be patient. We don't need to rush things. Lisa says, I agree with you, Khalid. We need to back the team no matter what. Stop being so negative and critical of them. I agree with you. Oh, you agree with me. Okay. So, yeah, I second that. I third that, fourth that. I don't know what I'm saying. Dennis Pilgrim says, Rickleton, great job with the gloves and the bat. I expected more runs from you. Keep the focus. Lawrence says, people asking for the likes of Rickleton and Stubbs to return to domestic cricket, but then at the same time ask for young and inexperienced Pretorius to be our savior. Shouldn't Rwanda Pretorius be playing domestic cricket? Exactly. He should be. A young player should be playing domestic cricket. Sarah says there is something which Shukri brings to the team which is clearly evident. ICC White Ball Trophy loading. Let's cross fingers for that one. Lawrence says you don't just discard of players like Stubbs and Pretorius. Laugh out loud. Lisa says, Lawrence, exactly. I totally agree with you, and I agree too. Anurag says, a lot of unnecessary hate for Ricks and Stubbs. Ricks needed his time at the crease today. Stubbs made 70 plus couple of games back. Yes, Brevis, who's hailed now, will be called overrated if he fails sometime. Exactly. We need to be patient, man. Shukri already did more in 2 series than Rob did in 2 years. Is it what I've said? Lawrence Bailey says the Tony injury looked a bad one. Brzeski probably in for the next game. If Brzeski still struggling with his injury as well, then we probably will see Luandre. Dennis says, Coach Conrad, great leadership with the team. Proteas. Sarah says Herman Brothers on bench is a good thing to have, and I'm impressed with Cody Yusuf. He can be considered in the mix. His bowling actually reminds me of Saudi. Interesting take. Blitz 77, Blitz 777 says, I need Keshav to destroy India when they play next. Sandeep says, I don't know why the criticism on Stubbs and Rickleton. They are like 10 balls to destroy the other teams. As example, look at the IPL stats. Underrated song says, Khalid Bavuma said Miller will come back in ODI. Does this mean Brevis will be dropped? Pavuma said that Miller is still available for ODI selection. I don't think he said that he will come straight back into the team. So he's in contention for ODIs. Doesn't mean he will be selected. So that's up to Coach Shukri, not Pavuma. Obviously, it's Protea fire. Lawrence is way too many flip-floppies in our fan base. A year ago, Rickleton was the best ever, and everyone was calling for him to play. Now he has a bad patch. He's crap. He needs to be dropped. Laugh out loud. And that's my problem, is the flip-flopping. I don't like it. We've all been ranting and raving about certain players to be in the team, and then now they are. When they go form, we go crazy. We need to just be patient with this team and let them develop and grow an ethos. Pratik says, I missed the the Cock versus Archer contest today. Believe the Cock is a player who has played Archer the best among all international players. Good take there. In my time, Chris, I would rather what? I would rather what split stabs? Brevis than select David or Rassi. Avi Sabasan says, I think that's how you pronounce it. Sorry if I butchered your name. Proteas cricket in really good space in all formats now. I remember an old tweet by Asha Bogle questioning the talent pool. Hope he got the answer. Question the you must has you apparently must has the sexiest voice in cricket. Hey, they need to come. Nah, I'm joking. As Digashu says, this is a great learning curve for Stubbs and especially Rickleton. They can now score even when they are not timing it too well. Sandeep says, big fan, bro, of the Proteas, or I don't know. Sarfaz, I still believe Devalt should bat at 5. He is not a finisher. Hey, Keshaf, you in the chat. Should Muller play 2027 World Cup? I don't think so. I think we have a great team that we growing here. In my time scale says fail, and obviously that's a pretty good pronunciation. In my time scale says Asha has made a video dedicated to South Africa a few days ago on his YouTube channel. Sandeep says, big fan of your show. Oh, thank you so much, bro, for coming and supporting us. It's not a show without you guys, of course. Daksh says, Proteas smash England badly today. Shukri has all way good records than Rob Walter in bilaterals also. Craig Schultz says, even when Coach Shukri stood in for Rob, he beat England. Now they are serious. I mean, what the hell? Or did he draw? He beat England, no, did he draw? I think, yeah, he beat him, I think. Craig Schultz says, Asha Bugley made a recent video which praised us and referenced his own tweet. He is a fan of us, of South Africa. Yeah, I think he is. Sarah says, if Rabada comes back, should he replace Ngidi Oberg? Yo, that's a difficult one, that one. Yo, I like a left armor in the team, man. So it'll probably be Ngidi for me. But I just have a feeling he's going to drop one of the all-rounders and keep Ngidi. Blitz says, I see you play guitar and I sing as well. I'm a singer-songwriter as a hobby. Lawrence says, Rickerton looked like Cisco up front. Hey! But I should have read it before. But I back both Ricks and Cisco. They'll come good. Thanks, bro. I hope so. Yo, United. Hey, give me a heart attack. In what I meant, I would rather fail with Stubbs and Brevis than selecting Rassi David in ODI. Pratik says, why Proteas not playing a 3-match test series after this massive performance? I'm craving for them to beat England in a test cricket as well. Yo, me too. Obviously, do we need a finisher like Ferreira in ODIs? I like Brevis at 6 for now, man, while he's still young and hungry. Because he can destroy any team at any moment. Sandeep says, I followed you since Aditya came to your show. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I need Aditya to come back. Guys, please go on Twitter and at Aditya. Say, please come back to Cricket Fanatics. I miss him on the show, actually. Dak says, we are full dominant force in white ball and test in coming days. I like the outswinger that Ngidi developed. Great skill to add. Craig says Mulder or Bosch will be replaced. In my time scale, Khalid forget Marco Jansen. I forgot about Marco Jansen. He needs to still come back into the ODI setup as well. Damn. So many players. Safa says, if you still anchor at 3 and 6, then Stubbs looks like the player to have. Dark says, Mulder's skills are always excellent in batting and bowling. Okay, guys, that's the review show. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell for all future videos as well. I lost my subscription button. Don't know where it is. And when we end the stream, please go into the live chat and comment there and leave your comments there too. It really helps us as a channel and it spreads our content far and wide. So please help us do that as well. So without further ado, I'm going to end the stream. Thanks a lot for all the amazing comments. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And I'll see you guys again very soon with another review show. The next game is on Friday. I might do a show in between. I'll see. But we might also upload a video as well that I want you guys to please watch and support. It tells you a little bit about the history of Cricket Fanatics magazine and what our aims are with this particular publication. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening.